everyone. This is our weekly lunch chat. Yes, and today is week 4. Can you believe it's already week 4? It's amazing. Week 4. Wow. It just goes so fast, like this. Doesn't it? So this is the time when, kind of like January, end of January, New Year. That was like almost a month ago, right? When we all were so excited to make intentions and resolutions and, oh, this year is going to be the best, or this year I'm going to do this and this and this. On this year I'm going to eat only grapes for lunch. No, you need to eat more than grapes. So that what happens? Well, that was not a good thing to do, Taichi. Well, what happens toward the end of January, we kind of all like it, well, I hope not. I hope you're still going at your resolution and your intention, whatever you intended to do this year. But today we're talking about that part of transformation. We're talking about that one part that always breaks us or helps us to truly make the lasting change that we desire in our lives. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, my name is Taichi. I'm a singer, a performing artist, inspirational speaker, a life coach, and I'm a mother of 3 sons. And I have experienced through my life, I've always been interested in what makes people who they are, in what makes us awaken, what makes us connected to something larger. I love anything soul-based. I was always curious about it. That's why, as an artist, what always fascinated me about art was not, oh, you can become famous and whatever, not that stuff at all. Or, it's just entertainment. No, it was always, art was, for me, always a way for a soul to express itself. So, I love to help people through their transformation. I love to help people make a change in their lives. I mentor at the Women's Prison. I am involved with several organizations that are truly trying to change people's lives one person at a time, like End Slavery Tennessee, which deals with human trafficking, and also Nashville Peacemakers, that actually has programs, wonderful programs for at-risk youth to offer them a different kind of life other than the one that they're seemingly stuck in, of poverty, violence, and drugs. So here in these lunch chats, we talk about transformation. In my life, I've gone through several sorts of transformation. I worked with great coaches. I read some amazing books. I studied a lot of spiritual stuff and came to an understanding of these 5 elements that are part of every transformation. Oh, and I did 3 years of a TV show, Waking Up in America, in which I explored with my guests their turning points in their lives and what inspire them and empower them to make a change and then live in that new reality that they created. All right, John is here. Hi, John. Emma is here. Amina. Hello, Blagoje from London. Nice. We have some UK people today. Yes, we usually get a lot of international people here. We get a lot of Croatians from all countries of former Yugoslavia, Serbia, Bosnia, Macedonia, Kosovo, Slovenia. We got lots of people from Europe, all different countries, Australia sometimes. So welcome all. I'm just going to check. Adnan, you're such an inspiration for me and my mom. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you all are what inspires me to show up every Tuesday. It's interesting because when I started with my Waking Up in America show, TV show, it actually started as Tuesdays with Taichi, right, Tomislav? I was just thinking about you. Tomislav is a friend of mine from Osijek, Croatia, Bog. And he will remember, I just thought of you because I was like, Utorkom s Taichi, Tuesdays with Taichi. Somebody, a friend of mine, Tim, yes, who is also in my online course, Be a Rockstar of Transformation. So Tim wrote me, it's kind of like Tuesdays with Taichi. So here's our lunch chats. I don't know if it's too dark. Let me see if this will help. I don't want to get too bright, and then yeah, okay, this is a little better. Blagoje, oh, thank you so much. He says this is inspirational for him. Yes, I hope this is inspirational for you and uplifting. Norway and Bosnia, yes, this is what happened to a lot of us after the unfortunate war in former Yugoslavia 20, almost 25 years ago. A lot of us, a lot of people were dispersed all over the country, all over the world, for various reasons. I didn't flee the war. I left because of personal reasons, but what happened was, at first you think, oh, this is hard, this is horrible. And it is. It's, for many people, it was absolutely devastating to have to leave everything without being able to keep anything. No, nothing behind. And I don't want to, make that, diminish that, but by any way, but in any way. But now, after we're healed, I hope we're healed, we can see how so many of you who had to leave without anything are now doing such great in all these different parts of the world. I have many people from Bosnia here in Nashville area who are just, every once in a while I hear from my American friends saying, oh, I know this Bosnian person. She's the most inspiring woman I've ever met. So all of you who are all over the world know that as much as the world had offered you a new home, as much as it was hard for you to leave, you have blessed so many, and I thank you for that. And my friend here, Ivan, says hrvatski, ali dragi Ivan, nas ima toliko ovdje koji samo razumijemo engleski, da ne bi bilo fair, a ipak svi razumiju engleski je nekako common zajednički jezik. Ako želimo, ako nas ima dovoljno, možemo jednom napraviti i hrvatski live chat, samo na hrvatskom, tako da, eto, oni koji ne razumiju engleski, ja znam da je teško, evo, moja mama isto malo razumije, ali ne uvijek je tu i veli da čak nekad i ne mora razumjeti riječi, ali zna o čemu razgovaramo i dovoljno je da ona malo osjeti srca. Eto, Ivan, nadam se da te neće smetati. So, Ivan's suggesting I speak in Croatian, but then not everybody speaks Croatian, so it's only fair that we speak in English. English is a gift. I think it's wonderful that's a common language. Slovenija, Marijetka, hi. Sjećamo se utorka stajči, yes. Nekada si nam bila idol, danas inspiracija. Thank you so much. Tomislav says about Tuesdays with Tai Chi, how before I was their idol when I was, I was a pop star and there were little kids, but now this is inspiration. And I hope so. Life that we live and all that's there and all the journeys and all the obstacles and everything that we go through, it really gets richer if we share and if we learn from each other. I've learned so much from so many of you who really helped me. Mama je tu, pusa, volimo te. My mom's here, as usual. She's always been my biggest fan and my really big support. Blagoje, the sad thing is normal people didn't want war from any part of the XU, but we were manipulated. Lessons to be learned. Good people are good people. Yes, Blagoje, that is such a huge truth. And this is what this is about. This is why I'm passionate about this. This is why I'm passionate about awakening up. This is why I'm passionate about making that change. Not just changes on the outside, but the change within, so that we can never again be manipulated into any kind of hate or anger or racism or bigotry or any of that yucky stuff. Okay, once we make that change within, once we really understand ourselves and then everybody else, we find each other, find that commonality that, like he said, good people are good people. We're all created the same way. Everybody you meet fights a battle you know nothing about. Okay, so once we make that change within and really are able to see recognize when we are being manipulated into hatred or anger or fear, we can say, no, I am not going to go there. So that's why my website is called Waking Up Revolution. We can only wake up ourselves. And then hopefully, there's so many wonderful things happening in the world of all the people that are really into self-awareness. Not selfish awareness, but self-awareness. What can I do to make more peace, more love in this world? I have a friend that says, he says, I think hippies were headed right in the 60s. Well, I don't know. All right. Hoće li ikada izaći vaš novi album na hrvatskom jeziku? Jasmina, I actually have, Awaken album. It has 7 songs in Croatian, so I try my best to also, I always sing in Croatian in all of my concerts, but it's, how it is. In order to produce an album and actually have it available, that you have to have a market, you have to have people willing to buy it, so the record company would actually be willing to produce it because they need to make money and pay their employees. Bruno, pozdrav. I saw you at the Medjugorje conference in Notre Dame. Yes, thank you, Katie. Thank you. Lijepi pozdrav iz domovine. Thank you so much. So good to it's so good to have you here. Yasmina has the great question. How do you free yourself from the fear of other people's opinions and criticisms? So this is what we're talking about here, Yasmina. The only way is to really go inward and build yourself up from within. Heal the parts that are causing you to allow yourself to worry and fear their opinions. Nije jednostavno pitanje, ali to je zapravo moj životno put kako se osloboditi. So I wrote a 10-year challenge. It's on my Instagram. Check it out. And I spoke about that. It takes a lot of inner work. It takes a lot of breaking down our own fears. That's the only way to free ourselves from for letting other people's opinions and criticisms hurt us. To know who we are inside and where that fear came from in the first place. Once you make that aware, once you become aware of that, then you can know why somebody hurt, some comment or criticism even hurts you, right? And then what helped me is to see. But once I began to heal, I was able to see everybody else as hurting people full of fear. And so when somebody tells me something about, you shouldn't have yoga on your cruise, I ask, why are you afraid of it? Why are you afraid of what you're accusing me of? Why are you afraid of people who are not like you? Why? What inside of you is not comfortable with yourself, right? What secret do you hide? A secret from some hurt or brokenness, or maybe you were abused yourself, maybe you were mistreated, maybe you were some traumatized in a certain way. And when I say traumatized, it doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small. Trauma has very, very different levels, and it doesn't mean just trauma in medical sense. Then we're able to understand the fear and be free. Baš pjeva tvoje pjesme I od magazina. Okay, there's some my songs on radio. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. We're going to ask, I'm going to go back to the questions in a little bit, but now I want to address. So in this series, the first week, we talked about connecting. The first step in making a change. Let's say you want to, I don't know. I need a good example. We need a good example. Okay, I'll give you an example. I always give an example of wanting to exercise more, but I want to give a different example. Maybe, okay, so I want to I want to work on becoming free of other people's opinions. Okay, that's a complicated one, but we can do it. Okay, so this year, let's say it's December 31st, 2018, and I tell myself, okay, this year I will work on myself every day so that I can get into that place within myself that's free of fear of other people's opinions. So now what do I have to do? First of all, every morning I have to connect. First element, I have to connect with why. Why do I want to do that? Because when I live in fear of other people's opinions, I feel sick. My stomach hurts. My chest is all, tight. I am sad. I am down. I feel I'm constantly pulled down. I can't be like this. I can't be open. I'm afraid to express my opinions. I'm afraid to say anything. And then I become depressed. And then I become fearful, even more fearful. Then I can't even be a good mother to my children. So I connect with all of that. It goes fast. And then I connect how I want to feel. I want to be free. Okay? So every morning, I think about that. And then I connect into the larger power, the higher power, God, right? Or everything around me. I am supported. I'm not going to do this on my own. God, or whatever, however you believe, it's going to support you. Life is going to support you. Just like life supports little tiny seed that grows into an oak tree. I'm supported. So I connect, and I usually say, I don't say prayer in the sense of, God, please help me. I say, thank you for all that is going to support me today in my efforts to not be afraid, to break the fear of what other people are thinking about me. Right? Okay. Second step, external world, right? So every day I'm observing. It just means external situation, external shift. When I talk about external shift, it's really about becoming more present and living in the now. And then seeing where we are, making an inventory every day, And then, okay, so here's my external. I live in a beautiful neighborhood. Who are my friends? Are they, am I surrounded by people who are judgmental? Do I read Facebook? A lot of, judgmental stuff. Do I hear people expressing opinions that maybe also hurt me indirectly? Those are all externals, and I can control that. I cannot read that, or I can read it and see how it affects me. So what in my external world can I do today to get myself closer to what I want to change in my life? What helps me externally is going for walks. All right? Walks in nature just center me, ground me, and I feel connected, and I just feel more secure. I feel like, the trees are not all the same, and nobody's going to tell a tree, well, you're not a good tree. And even if they do, the tree's not going to care, right? Now, those kind of things, I find connections in them. My kids always make fun of me. They're like, Mama, can you ever just go through a day without making connections? Well, I can't. That's just how I am. But it makes me, I just love it. It supports me. So my external step, that's step 2, external shift. I try to be present in the moment, live in the now, and I go for walks. Internal shift, okay? Every time I start feeling that fear, I literally have a sentence in my head that I think instead. Thank you, I say, I'm grateful for this opportunity to notice how this comment hurts me. Okay, instead of saying, oh, this really hurts me and I'm just so afraid and I should never say this again, or even go work it out, try to work it out. Why did I do, when did this happen in the past? All these times when I was hurt before. That's good if you're doing this work with a therapist. I've done a lot of that, and I encourage you, do this work with a therapist. But in the moment when something hurts me, I say, I'm grateful for this opportunity to grow from this. And that changes my mindset about it. That's the step 3. Change your mindset about it. Okay, make that internal shift. So immediately the fear becomes, the fear of being judged or criticized becomes, it's still there. I'm not saying it disappears, but we're able to see it from a different perspective. And while I'm processing the fear, I'm saying, I'm grateful for this opportunity to experience this and learn from it. Now, the element 4, and this is what we're talking about today, is the most important, because if I do this enough times, it will become automatic, and I will no longer care. Okay. Now, I said this is a pretty complex example. An easier example would be going for a walk, determining, okay, I'm going to exercise every day this year. Okay, I'm going to really build a good exercise habit. I'm going to build a good habit of exercising. That's better. Sorry, I'm reading all these Croatian comments and my mind is like two different languages. So, okay, so we're, practice and commit. If you don't do it every day, you're not going to build a new healthy habit. You're not. You're going to be, there's a study that was done at the university in United Kingdom. I think it was, I can't remember what it was. I think maybe the University of London. I don't know. Please check it. There's Google. You can check everything. And they made a study, and they showed that it takes between 21 and 254 days to develop a new habit. Okay? It takes between 21 and 254. Now that's a big range, but that means that yes, you can build a new habit in as little as 21 days, but probably not less than 21 days. So at least 21 days, and as long as 254 days. Now, I think most people are somewhere in the middle. It takes good 60, 66 days. I read somewhere number 66. Numbers are good, that you build your body, your brain rewires itself, and your body has this habit. I can tell you a great example, practicing piano, all right? If you play a piece, when you start practicing, and I'm talking about, I was trained classically, and so you get this big Beethoven piece, and there's lots of notes there, lots of fast stuff. And unless you practice, unless you sit there every day and go over the music over and over again, you can't learn that piece. It's not, there's I don't know, maybe 1% of population humans that can actually pick it up with their ear and play it. I'm not talking about that. Most of us humans, we have to sit and practice. Any sport, right? If you want to play a sport, you got to get on that field and practice. And it's not going to happen overnight. That's how it is with change. All right? If you're determined to say to yourself, I'm going to change this addiction, you have to stick with it. You can't give it up. You can't say, oh, it's not working, right? Why are all these great, why are all these people making so much money? Oh, I have the new, this potion will make you thin, or I don't know, this book will be your end of all that. It's not going to do any of it. People make money on our inability to be committed to the change that we want to make. All right? It takes between 21 and 254 days to develop a new habit. So, That's a good thing. It's not discouraging thing. That's a good thing. It means that, yes, we can do this. Yeah, all right, Tomislav. Svi znamo da je strah kočnica da okrenemo novu stranu u našem životu, da se oslobodimo okova. Možeš reći kada si shvatila da si okovana u svom strahu i što je bilo to da si odlučila napraviti promjenu i kako je to počelo? Okay, so Tomislav is asking about, I understand all of this is fine. We can practice once we know what we're practicing, right? And we can do this once we are able to let out of that fear. But he brings a good point. Tomislav brings a good point that it's the fear that stops us from even making that first step. Fear is that holds us back, all right? And there's a scientific reason for it, is that our brains like familiar and safe, and we talked about it last time. If you want to, you can go to find the week 3 and listen. There we talked about how, safe and familiar, it's our bodies and our systems, our brains, our minds like familiar and safe a lot more than they like unknown and what seems and different, new. That's why change is hard. Because we know if we, we know if we keep doing the same thing, we know what's going to happen. And it's safe, familiar, right? If we change, we don't know what that change will bring. So what was my moment? For a lot of people, we make the change when the pain of staying the same is greater than the fear of change. And that was for me, okay? The pain of staying in that one place was greater than the fear. Okay, when I left Croatia, the pain of staying was I couldn't stand it. I knew that if I stayed, I would die. I wanted to die. So the pain was greater than the fear of what's going to happen when I come to New York. I didn't know how to speak. I barely could speak English. I didn't know where I was going. I had no family there. I had nothing. But when the pain becomes greater than the fear, if you are still comfortable, if you are what happens a lot of times is that we mask the pain. We distract the pain from pain. We drink, we go out, we take drugs. We take prescription drugs for pain, emotional pain and physical pain, right? There's nothing wrong with medication when it's necessary. But when it's masking our symptoms or pain without us addressing the pain, it's not good. It's not going to help. Okay? So when the pain becomes greater than the fear of change, we change. And that was the moment for me. Last Scott Ross says, yes, I stopped smoking lots of times. Really, Scott? You smoked? I didn't know that. John, generic goal. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. Yes, that's very simple. That's very simple. And then if you really want that, you're going to have, you're going to practice that and do it every day, and you're going to be better. And that's really a lot of that actually comes in a lot of biographies of great people if you read it. Okay, fear from family and friends' reaction. It's almost like you need to make your parents happy first. I know. A lot of us have that fear of disappointing our parents. Where really, I know as a parent, all we want is our kids to be free and happy, right? So that's a big one. That's a big one. Yes, Scott, thank you. Yes, he was joking about smoking to make my point. How did you make my point? By going back to smoking, you had to give it up a lot? Let me think about it. Scott is a great friend. Love you, Scott. Recently was diagnosed with social anxiety disorder and have been through therapy for 5 years now. Katie, great. Stick with therapy. And I would, if you can work with a coach as well, that would be my recommendation. Just keep working on it. Keep working on it. I know a lot of these, a lot of our disorders, we can heal. I believe it. I believe it. And then there are some that are truly, severe depression, anxiety. Those also have physical causes in our bodies. So make sure that you talk about it with your physician as well. A lot of depression is connected with anemia. So go check your body. Feel again. Our bodies are so wonderful. They give us symptoms. So often we just take pills and we distract. Emotional pain. Our bodies, our souls are constantly giving us signals, but we distract. We mask the pain, and then we cannot allow that pain to grow bigger so that we would really make the change. In addiction recovery, it's always, a lot of the addiction recovering addicts say that they had to hit the bottom before they could really make the change, because that bottom hurt so much that then they find strength to make that change. And look for help, because a lot of these things we cannot do alone. Katie, I'm so proud of you that you're working with a therapist. It is really awesome. Yes, and she's cantering at Mass. That's wonderful. Yes, that's awesome. That is a big win for you. I know. It's good. Stuff like that is healing. All right, so now it's 25-minute mark. No, it's 32. Okay, I just love the subject, so I can talk a lot about it. But we're gonna bring David here. David,